Hello, hello, breaker, breaker, one, two. No, just kidding. Just wanted to make sure this is working first. Oh, okay. So you got a little echo. Turn that down a little bit. Move this over here so this doesn't get in the way. There we go. Testing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make the necessary adjustments like before. Let me first get that adjusted. Changing info. Okay, there we go. I just got to make it easier for people to find it. Oh, I figured that was going to be the case. Okay, so let me see if I remove that one. There we go. Okay. Just a sec. Oh, there we go. Excuse me. That's more like it. Just getting a headset. There we go. Let me get that, go ahead and share this. Okay. So I'll go ahead and post this on my Twitter and a few other things. Hopefully all is well for anyone that drops in. I am the EXP Story Gamer Z. On the next episode of I'm not gonna do that Dragon Ball Z thing, but but here I am about to explore the story, a bit of the story of Emil. I actually have a fight I got to deal with him. However, there's two fights you have with him. I'm dealing with the first fight, so I got to do that one. The second one I'm not able to do unless I master all my weapons, which is going to take a while. And then I'm going to dig and explore into some archives. So let me just go ahead and make the post real quick. Get my moves ready. So I'm going to be going around taking on some fights for a little bit as well. Gonna see how well I've been doing. So let me pause that real quick. Yeah. Let me see. And just to keep the entertainment going, let's see. I got like some things to say so far. Is I've been hold on. Let me fix that. I can't believe I made a mistake on that. looking into just been like exploring some of the NieR story before I played this NieR and the Drakengard, a bit of the Drakengard series and Drakengard ending. I'll be talking a little bit about that today as well. So there we go. That's fixed. Yeah, for some reason I messed up my tweet. I went in there. I was like, wait a minute. I made a mistake in writing that. No, don't add another tweet. Just do it. Yeah, it was like, it's like, why does it have to be that way? Why? Anyway, let me go ahead and remove this. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to see if I can find some little materials of some things for my weapons, and then I'm gonna get set up to make sure everyone gets informed of my event. So I don't want them missing out on it. Even though I always have a remind, tell them, you know, you got to set your notifications. Either they're busy, or they're not able to attend, or some things come up. But you know, no discussion is not good without somebody attending the stream to hear it. So let me just venture in here and see what's around here. Anything. See any enemies over here? Either that or I pretty much beat all of them. I pretty much went the Matrix over here. Because I was doing it just to see if I could, oh, there's something. I don't know if that goes too far. Bingo. Yeah, that's about good enough. See, is there any other enemies nearby? Oh, no you don't. There we go. Yeah, you got this. All right. I do like the combat in this game. It's very, I'd say it's nearly simple. It's basic combat structure. You know, you got like some of the complexity in Devil May Cry, and maybe you might have a little bit of that in Bayonetta. I mean, not so sure. I barely played Bayonetta, so I can't really make a comment on how the combat system of that is compared to this. But this one it's real basic. And you kind of have more like almost like a cheating, well, I can't say cheating, or like a cheap way of dodge at times. It's like, of course, there are moments where you do got to make sure dodge is well timed, but it just feels like it's not so much, it's not so much that complex, you know, it's just easy to do. Okay, so let me see. I think that's about it. Yep. I am good. I am good. I am good. I am good. Okay. It was like, so good. And it was like, okay, stop that. You don't need to be doing that. Hopefully everything is well with everyone else. So I'm gonna get out of there real quick so I don't get on there. Okay, so right now, got it. Get it, got it, good. Well, the good news, I got titanium and alloy and warped wire. I did like some off-stream gaming just to see if I can get like the warped wire, titanium alloy, all those things I need for my weapons. So all those things I need. Let's see if there's anything else. Get into some fights. Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to fight Emil. But not in this chapter. This is Route C. As a matter of fact... I was trying to see about... what was I gonna say? Yeah, I was trying to see, because I know I need the materials for upgrading my pod, which I know takes time, might even take longer. Yeah, this is that chapter with that box.
我がその大型ユニット。
後世巨大構造物に対し何かを放出している様子。推測何らかの資源を巨大構造物に送り出している施設。
送り出す。何を？
不明。
何のために？
不明。
I know yesterday I was talking about music and meaning, and you know, you have like a little light singing in there and some language, so you kind of have an idea. Like as soon as the music shifts, like right now, the way the music kind of gives a vibe of mystery. It's like a little mysterious presence that I'm now come upon. Ancient, perhaps. It's maybe been hidden, but it's been there for years, for centuries. So it's like ancestral mystery, kind of like that's kind of the meaning I get from it. Ancient mysteries, kind of way. Really? You walked right in the middle of that thing, and you think you were going to get me. Hitting those things is going to explode, and it took you out easily, so... I was letting them walk right in the middle of those shots, so it made it easier to take them out. Because I have the bullet rupture to this weapon here. Yeah, the Overlord sword. So I can rupture and cause any of the bullets they shoot to explode. This is what I like. Oh, there's some Moldavite.
報告。敵大型ユニットからの大量の蒸気発生を確認。
蒸気一体何のために。
不明。
At least now I kind of have an idea where I would find Moldavites now. It's mostly in this area. No hits. Yeah, you can get no single hit from me. Except that one. And that's all it took.
殺してやる。それはこっちのセリフだ。
All right then. I can throw that in time. Okay. Alright. Gotcha. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head to the castle real quick. Whoops. Sorry about that. And knock him back over here. So, let me see. I want to go ahead and read one of the archives while I'm running around, so let me see. Let me cross the bridge. So I'm going to run right past that. Alright, let me go over ahead and start reading one of the archives while I'm here. Let me see. Ah! This one is a good one, relevant to where I'm at. This is a letter to the Forest King. Here lies the Forest King, Ernst. Interesting name, Ernst. This exalted individual was the earliest among us to awaken to his own will, and for this reason did we name him our regent. Looking to sow the seed of this will in... Looking to sow the seed of this will in others, His Highness distributed his own precious parts. His retainers were the first to be so blessed, followed by his subjects. And in doing so, he brought forth a paradise, one made for machines only. Through his gifts did we learn of the thing called ego, and eventually of our own selves. Just as ego gives way to emotion, so too did emotion lead us to feel great loyalty to our king. But our king was too great and too kind, having distributed his parts. It became difficult for him to function, and he soon fell into a deep and silent sleep. So what made me say, through his gifts did we learn the thing called ego, and eventually of our own selves. And just as ego gives way to emotion, so did emotion lead us to feel great loyalty to our king. Now, the only path left to us, his loyal vassals. It was fascinating when they talk about the ego. Now, the only path left to us, his loyal vassals, is to construct a kingdom of eternal peace, one which lives up to the magnanimous heart of our king. And so, as a sign of both our resolve and our gratitude, we live in this place, a chip made from our combined parts. Your spirit lives on in us, O great king, and so we implore you to rest in peace. The Forest Kingdom, its citizens, as one. You know, I was amazed when they talked about they learned of the thing called ego through his gifts, and eventually of our own selves. Just as ego gives way to emotion, so too the emotion lead us to feel great loyalty to our king. So, ego, eh? That's fascinating. Ego. And it's the thought of a question. What is ego? You know, it's I was kind of looking at like the definition, but usually refers to like one's own sense of self-esteem or self-importance. Like a person begins to understand how important or significant they are. Like they're able to sense, they're just able to know, are able to understand themselves, how important they are. And have and self-esteem. You know, like they esteem themselves. They recognize and see the significance and importance of themselves. So perhaps when they thought ego, they thought of how the king kind of came off as very important to them, very significant to them, and to them, it was like the emotion attached to that idea or that sense of ego they probably presumed he had, and decided to set that emotion towards loyalty, honor, and praise. So they looked up to him as their leader, their king. Believed in what he said out, what he stated, everything. His values, his beliefs, etc. And that's just on record of the narrative that was happening in this forest. That you look at it really like the machines, in a way, took upon whatever people may have lived here, and kind of saw themselves as like a kingdomhood, in a way. You know what came to my mind? Why couldn't these androids leave the machines alone? Not to say that there were no machine threats or anything. After all, much of the resistance and some of the android life and aka replicants that were living the earth I could pretty darn well certain that they were threatened by the machines anyway, so you have some machines that are roaming around still wanting to kill and take out people. So I'm not shocked about that. And I know I need a large gear, so I'm actually getting the items I need for my weapons. That's the good news. And let me see the next archive I want to read along the way. Oh yeah, that was the... Yeah, I read this one earlier. That was the, one of the androids apparently were trying to escape. Just a sec. And you have the bomb recipe and save the machine records, and you reveal all the other things. Okay, what do I want to read? Oh yeah, Angel. Yeah, Angel was one of the and then there's the infant machines memories. But Angel is or Angel is one of the large tyrant-like machines that were roaming about on the Earth, and we defeated him, and now we got a lot of the Goliath class, so we're gonna get a lot of its records. So there are record 5, 10, and 20. So you ended up talking to him and stuff. So I'm just gonna read this. Shipment record February 14th. So approved February 14th. Angels, Fortress Destroyer, Transformable Combination Infantry. 4 units. So production code 110 A, B, C, and D. Angels, that means there was more than one, I presume. Angels, Goliath class. There is more than one Goliath class, even in the beginning, so. Angels Goliath class suppression flight weapon, production code 022-A, inspection, okay. Overview. Angels Fortress Destroyer Transformable Combination Infantry, production code 110B, production date February 14th, 11943 CE, maybe 11,943 CE. Records first deployment August 3rd. So it was produced February 14th. So February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So that means 7 months. Okay. So its first deployment was August 3rd of that same year. And individuals, 11,345 individuals were killed. The largest combo was 234. Total points 9,432. Unless it was during the fights I had with it, that's probably what that means. But anyway, here we go. Condition: repaired required. Both arms malfunctioning, repair required. Legs damaged, ambulation impossible. Fragmentation errors verified in memory storage. Voice system malfunction. Just a sec. What was it going to see? Let me see. Fragmentation errors verified in memory storage. Voice system malfunctioning. Additional errors exist but are not listed above. As I can no longer move, I have nothing to do. Perhaps I will try writing what is called a journal. Ah. Yeah, that's what he ended up doing after his destruction. He's pretty much said the following. He said, as I can no longer move, I have nothing to do. Perhaps I will try writing what is called a journal. Where did machine life forms come from? We repeat a process of self-proliferation and repair. Am I my own existence, or do we all encompass one sole existence? The aliens, our creators, are beings that conquer worlds and stars. Their behavior is exceedingly simple. They share one objective, and as such, there is never conflict between them. But what about machine life forms? What about us? Rain is falling. A bird stopped on my shoulder. I never tire of looking at life on this planet. I will make my record of this bird protected data so I do not lose it. Interesting. Hey, Sights of the Lone Wolf. What's up, man? How you doing? Welcome to the stream and welcome to the case, where we're looking at some archives and also we'll be doing an Emil battle later on. How you doing? Oh, and I have a great question for you. When I go live, have you received any notifications, and how is your notification session set for my videos? I just want to know if you're getting notifications and if you set the notifications to be active for my videos on the notification bell system. Yeah. I listened. Oh, what did you say? Did you see the video I linked to you? Oh yeah, I seen a little bit of it. I was listening to some of it. It sounds really, wow, it sounds beautiful. I have yet to listen to all of it because I was doing something at the time, so I just took a little listen to it. Because I know that was one of the song you referred me to. But yeah, just to ask you that question about the notifications, real quick. Have you been receiving any notifications of my YouTube videos, by the way? Because I have a friend that came in earlier, yesterday. Well, they told me they haven't been able to receive notifications. So I don't know if you've been receiving them as well. And thank you for sending that video. I mean, that was a beautiful song, by the way. It's really nice to listen to. So when I listen more and more of it, I'm sure I'll be enjoying more of that song. me see which narrative. I mean, which archive am I gonna read? So what we just read was Angel's memories, and then now we have an infant machine's memories. It's so dark. Mummy, I've been born. Mummy, where are you? What should I do? Tell me what to do, Mummy, please. I'll try my best. Please don't leave me alone. I'm so lonely, Mommy. Mommy, 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 Mommy. Wow. That's deep. Oh, what did you mean by hard? You said, yeah, I do, but I have so many channels sub to with notification that it's so I can't. Oh, you mean it's so hard you can't just know if it's me going live? Ah, because you got a lot of channels that you sub to, huh? And a lot of them notifications. Yeah, that means you would have to, It would just be, you would have to decide exactly for like what channels you want to be subbed to. I mean, which ones you want to be notified all time, which ones you can personalize your notifications, or just none at all. So I understand you got a lot to decide on for that, because that's a lot of channel. Because look, I got a ton of channels I'm subbed to. So if one is to be able to, so if you would be able to, get notifications like from me, you would have to that would require you to, you know, go through your notification settings and figure out what channels to be notified to the most, and then which ones you don't want to be notified at all, and which ones you want to be notified less of. That's the best that you can do. That's my recommendation. Yeah, that's the only way you're able to know if you're getting a notification from me. One sec. Okay, here we go. Let me see. So yeah, from what you tell me, so that pretty much indicates that, yeah, that means you're definitely getting notifications. It's just, you got so many. Alright, well that just requires, you organizing and deciding like which ones are to be notified the most and which ones notified less, but yeah, that's pretty much the best you could do. Yeah. I got so many people on sub to on my YouTube platform that I get so many notifications. I'm probably gonna have to. Whoa. The only thing I'm probably what I'm gonna end up doing is deciding on like which channels I really want to actually go see videos of the most. That's what I'm gonna organize it, because I can't really see everybody's videos, so, and I know that for real. So I'm just gonna have to decide which one I want to do. At least 3 or 5 of them I can think of. Oh boy. Tell me about it. You're not the only one. You have so much notification, and you got so many messages in your email. You know what that means. Especially for me, it's like time to sort out my email. It's like I gotta go through this, I gotta go through that, clear out all the junk and spam mail, make sure to release any subscriptions I have, you know, like all that kind of stuff. Trust me, I hear you. So I got, let me see what I got here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 weapons to maximize here. Hmm. Let me take these headphones off. There we go. So one of the things I want to see, kind of got a lot of stuff, so it should be okay. Alright, well, here, one thing I want to look into is the, I was going to look into the Project Gestalt, but I don't have all of the reports. So I just need 7, 8, 9, and 10, and that should be it. So I'm going to go hunt them down, but let me look at, actually, this is a good summary of how it all ended right here. It says, overview. While the machine lifeform network was destroyed, following the collapse of the tower, a great deal of previously unknown information regarding machine lifeforms and aliens was recovered from the wreckage. As part of this analysis, we compiled research and conjecture regarding both the machine lifeform network and the lifeform codename N2, commonly known as the Red Girls. That was thought to have been commanding them. Machine lifeforms are weapons created by the aliens. The only command given for their behavior was to defeat the enemy. However, it appears that their capacity for growth and evolution went too far, and they eventually turned on and killed their creators. At this point, machine lifeforms recognized that the goal of defeating the enemy actually required an enemy. In order to maintain this singular objective, they reached the contradictory conclusion that their current enemies, the androids, could not be annihilated completely, lest they no longer have an enemy to defeat. In order to resolve this inherent contradiction, the machine lifeforms began to intentionally cause deficiencies in their network, diversifying the vectors of evolution for all machines. This is the cause behind some of the more special machine lifeforms, such as Pascal, in other words, Pascal and her village, and the Forest King. Meanwhile, the deficient network began, not to mention the Speed Star and the Father Servo, which was more like a karate fighting machine. So anyway, meanwhile, the deficient network began repeating a process of self-repair while incorporating surrounding information until it finally reached a fixed state as a new form of network. Traces of information regarding human memories from the quantum server of the old model were discovered, indicating that it had integrated them during the final stages of its growth process. Said server contained a record of the discarded Project Gestalt, as well as information on the human who was the first successful example of the Gestalt process. Having acquired information regarding humanity, the network structure change once more, becoming what might better be called, a meta network, or a concept, to borrow the words of the machines. This led directly to the formation of the ego we identify as N2. Having acquired information about humanity, the network structure will change once more, becoming what might better be called a meta network, or a concept, to borrow the words of the machines. This led, yeah. So that's N2, the red girls. So then, to sum up, for hundreds of years we've been fighting a network of machines with the ghost of humanity at its core. We've been living in a stupid bleep world where we fight an endless war that we couldn't possibly lose. All for the sake of some council of humanity on the moon that doesn't even exist. I don't know what the point is to all this, but I swear I will kill every evolutionary dead-end machine life form, as well as every single bleep behind Project Yora. I'm coming for all your heads. Bleep you. Information Analysis Officer. That's her name, Jacket. That's the name of the lady in the desert area. So she's the information analysis officer. Yeah, she analyzed the info, and that pretty much sums up everything that's been happening. For hundreds of years, they've been fighting a network of machines, pretty much with the ghost of humanity literally at its core. And we've been living in this world where we fight an endless war that we couldn't possibly lose, all for the sake of some council of humanity on the moon that doesn't even exist. In other words, to her, it's like we're fighting all this for what? For this human beings that were supposedly said to be on the moon is not even there. And the ghost of humanity is at the core of the machine, which is true. Which pretty much is what's happening here. It's the humanity itself built within the network of the machines. That's why the machines are acting close to human. That's why Adam and Eve were definitely wanting to experience like Adam wanted to experience the essence of humanity. You know, he understood the things of what was humans were experiencing in the earth. Most of what humanity is what's pretty much experienced through human senses, the five senses, our bodies, and what could be understood or what could be physically seen. In other words, all physical existence and experience in the earth. That's all. That's pretty much what's going on. It's like it's just trying to feel what human beings had felt years ago when they were still around. Because all the people in the resistance they're not literally human. They're actually what you call replicants, which are based on a project. Because there's Project Gestalt and there's the Project Replicant, which was the result of trying to transfer the soul, aka the mind of human beings, and put them into bodies for them to last further in. So that's pretty much what it is. And N2 is pretty much a construct, a concept. Not necessarily literally a little girl, but a concept of she transcribed a meta network, and this was because the structure of the network began to change over time. It says, meanwhile, the efficient network began repeating a process of repair or incorporating surrounding information until it finally reached a fixed state as a new form of network. Traces of information regarding human memories from the quantum server of the old model were discovered. So they're trying to gather everything and all things related to humanity's ghosts, indicating that it had integrated them during the final stage of its growth process. Said server contained a record of the discarded Project Gestalt, as well as information on the human, who was the first successful example of the Gestalt process. The human, if I recall, actually is the person, if I recall, I would have to go back to the narrative of NieR, the game before NieR Automata. If I recall, the person that they're referring to that was the successful example happened to be NieR himself, who's the supposed main character of the game. NieR. If that's who it is they're referring to as the first successful, unless it's somebody else. So, yeah. And it's called NieR Automata. So it's like pretty much after NieR. There's so much to this story that some might say it's complex. I say there are simple things in it that kind of brings light to some of the complexities that this story tries to integrate. And plus, when I look at Into right here, her eyes kind of remind me of all the androids. They all, almost every single one of them, especially 2B, they tend to have those gray looking eyes. You know, kind of almost like an android in itself. You know. I noticed a little mask there. Kind of reminds me of the, and it's red. You know what that reminds me of? That, the robot that tried to be beautiful. Because that robot had a mask over its eyes. So it reminds me of that. So in a way, it's like it's an identity. It's like the network itself created an identity of its own. And it's putting that over others in superiority. Like, I'm the greatest, I'm the smartest, I'm the most intellectual of them all. Which leads to a logical war that happens, or a battle of the minds that happens later on in the end. So many things happen in this game. But things start to make sense a little bit more. But it still is a lot of things to think about. And there's the pious robots. Will. I'll get to that a little later. Let me bring some. Let me see if I can get this right. Yeah, I'm just checking something. Let me see. Anyway, let me see. Okay. I'm going to make a switch on something real quick. Alright, let me see if I can make the switch here. Whoops, let me make a change here. Just want to move that part at the bottom. Let me see if I can get that out of there. I just don't want anything to say at the bottom at all. There we go. Just wanted to switch to this direction, and at least I can see it, because currently my iPad is, or my device, yeah, my iPad device is being used for something else real quick. But I'm sure you can hear me. Okay, there we go. Alright. I'm also going to keep an eye on the time. Yeah, because it's 7:20 right now. Yeah, so I know that you're the only person right now on with me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with everybody else. I've already sent out notifications already, and so far I see you're the one person, so thank you for dropping by. What did you say? Pre-ordered Borderlands 3 for PS4. Nice. Nice. When does that come out again? September 13th. Alright, cool. Wow, so I've been on for like an hour and 20 minutes. Woo. Oh, okay. I see. What do I want to see? I think I'm probably gonna just trying to think of the chapter. Not that one. This one. Then there's the aircraft. Yeah, I don't want to do that one. So 2B or 9S. Have to be 9S anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is, I got an idea. I'm going to go ahead and maybe visit, because I need to, yeah, city center. There we go. No, right here. Because I need to go find Emil and go and do the whole thievery quest thing.
推奨フォット射撃による強制停止。
Yeah, so now, because I made a lot of space, now I get to buy a lot of these. Probably get them a little later. And depending, I learned that depending on where he lands, driving around, he sells different items. Just a little heads up, so that you know. Yeah, if you ever still think about getting this game, yep. He gets a lot of it. You get a lot of his items in different locations when he lands in different locations. He drives around nearly the whole city, almost the whole city area. And his stock changes depending on where he is. Can't go on there yet, so I have to go around and go back down and go in there, and that way I can face the mill. And hello, Celestial Shards, how are you? Good to see you again. And now I'm just heading down, getting myself ready to deal with a mill. I'll have to buy me some medium recovery and large recovery in a moment, so I'm just going first go and steal his mask, like I did before, and then eventually, whoops, that was uncalled for. Yeah, so I am good. Thank you for asking. So I'm doing the Emil quest. First thing I gotta do is take his mask. Oh, and just to make sure everyone knows or remember, there was something that Emil revealed. Let me see. Is it this one? Oh. Oh yeah, there's the memories of the songstress and Devola and Popola's memories. Yeah, I remember that one. Let me see. Yeah, here's the one. Well, here are all the picture books for each and every one of the machines while they're on the Earth. Oh yeah, and there was this lady here. Which one is this? Yeah. Yeah, this is the one of Emil's past. This takes place after the events of NieR. So here you go.
僕はもともと大昔に兵器として作られました。ありとあらゆる環境に適応し、殲滅するための兵器の一部として。
兵器だったのか。
エイリアンとの戦いが始まった時、僕は自己増殖による兵力増強を行いました。
自己増殖？
はい。僕は複製された無数のエミールのうちの一人です。僕たちはお互いに協力し、なんとか防衛線を維持していました。しかしそうやって何百何千とコピーされていくうちに、僕たちの記憶は薄まっていったのです。
Yeah, this was after, by the way, previously on NieR. Yeah, this definitely took place after the events of NieR. Yeah, he made copies of himself and his memories were fading away because he made so many copies. One of the things I would say that may have happened, or one of the things I would say about Emil is, what to say about him. He had, I did a quest with him a while back. I was wondering what was on. But I did a quest with him a while back, and it was about his memories. He would see a flyer that's known, I mean, not flyer, a flower known as the lunar tear. And upon seeing that flower, it's like some parts of his memories were coming back to him. So he did not remember that war or anything until I went around finding all these lunar tears around the landscape, around the plains. And then once I found about like 4 or 5 of them, his memories came back to him. And then in that mall, there's an elevator. He gives you the key, hey, pay attention, it's serious here. Oh, it is serious though. His memories came back. And he gives you the key to the elevator in the mall, an abandoned mall, and then you take the elevator and you go down to this area surrounded by a series of lunar tear flowers. It's nice and glowing. It's a nice, quiet environment. And all it is the glow of lunar tears. And then there's a little mini, like, house, open house kind of thing nearby. And he tells you what his past was like, and then that's when you see that image.
警告。物品の窃盗は住人の反感を買う可能性あり。
Yeah, I already have the Emil mask. I just come down here, then come up acting like I stole it, even though, well, I already did it anyway. Yeah, I have not beaten Emil yet, by the way. Yeah, I haven't done that yet. That's what I'm doing right now. I have to do the whole stealing his stuff again just to trigger it. Because I went and went through chapter selections yesterday, if you recall. And then I discovered when you go back to a chapter to try to do the quest, you have to start over it. So, until it's finished. So I ended up right now starting back again, having to do the whole take his stuff to trigger him to want to attack. So I have to do that again. Ah, it looks cute on him. No, I was kidding. Yeah, you can wear some of these items. Let me see. Oh, wait. Here's a good one. You can wear the mask. You can wear the accessory. Oh, yeah, you can wear the heavy armor as well. I'm just seeing right now what kind of clothes and things I can change. So I literally have on Emil's head. I'm his long-lost brother. Makes you wonder how he's able to jump with that head. So just to give a nice little, because I know this stream is also about Emil as well, just kind of give a brief insight to summarize his backstory. When he said that he said he was used as a weapon, that's correct. Both him and his, it was him and his sister. They were taken in by this organization to be experimented on with certain elements and things to kind of give them, either to give them some kind of powers or something, or they had some hidden power in them and they were trying to unlock it. I'll have to check back the backstory. But pretty much what happened is, you know, Emil was a little boy, and his sister, right? They were both human beings, and Emil, when he was human, had the ability to cause some either paralysis or some type of trance, psychosis or something whenever he stares at you. So when you look at his eyes, it does something to you. So he ended up wearing, ironically, a blindfold. They had to put a blindfold on him so his power wouldn't be used on them or anything. As for the girl, she was also held and kind of experimented on. And they were able to transfer her soul, aka her mind, her spirit to who's nearby. Yeah, he moves real quick, so sometimes catching him can be a challenge. But plus the machines were in the way, so I was trying to aim at him, but I ended up hitting the machines instead. There we go. And you notice he's giving you, and then here is like he's giving me +6 stuff. You see? So, give me one of these. I already have that one. I'm just kind of seeing what I don't have. I have that already. Woohoo! Okay.
いやー、最近物騒ですよな。この前もうちに泥棒さんでも今回は頑丈な入れ物に入れた。
There we go. I'm gonna go buy me some other recovery items. But as I was saying about his sister, so they transferred her mind and body, soul, or spirit into her character, everything into this strange. They made this strange body. It's like some kind of skeletal-like body, and it had this type of face to it. It looked odd and ugly, and it looked big, and she was literally entrapped in it. And well, it made her in a way more powerful, that she ended up taking out a lot of some of the people there until they finally decided to oh wait, gotta get the recovery items. They used Emil's powers with his eyes to soothe her and calm her down and cause her to stop. And they contained her. And then at some point, the main character NieR and another companion named, I think his name Kaine, that's when they met him. And you end up in the game NieR, you end up finding his sister in this body. And well, he meets his sister who's in that body, and he goes in to try to save her. But what ends up happening is that they both, in a way, fuse together. So you don't hear her voice or anything in Emil's body or whatnot. He's like some kind of skeletal looking like person now with that big head. And he apparently, he ended up having that body. And he's still a boy, and he communicates through it. The mouth moves. So, yeah, that literally became his body. Nah, that's how he came to look the way he is now. Well, as of right now, his head, that's a clone, or most likely his head in that thing, but before he had a body. So I'm certain, lost it during the war, perhaps. So all that's left is just his head. Let me see. There we go. Just 55. And then just a little bit of this. Yep, so that's how Emil ended up with that type of head and everything. It's all because of his, let me equip myself with the right chips and everything. Like, we know it was really all because of his, the way his head, like, because of that experimentation, what happened during that fight. Yeah, his body ended up being the way it is now. And then he learned to contain it, and he became powerful. He was able to do powerful magic and everything. The fact that he's even able to clone himself so well is an example of what was happening with him. So yeah, that's pretty much most of the main story of Emil. I have to see the whole thing to the end of NieR when I play it to see, like, you know, what he was doing later on near the end of the game and everything. I know he tags along with the main character and the girl Kaine, but that's it. But yeah, it could be like almost like a sad story of how boy came to be have like such an artificial, strange-looking body, but he did become powerful because of it. And they had the power of magic, so they had like magic skills and abilities, so they were able to do it. Let me see if I can. Can I change his weaponry? Can I do something about that? Let me see if I can switch the weaponries real quick. Hey, Nor, what's up? Okay, you said the private messages, it's going away from YouTube on September 18th. So they're removing the private messages feature. That's interesting. I know a long time ago they removed some other feature, and then there was another feature they changed. They also apparently changed the sub number appearance on channels, and now apparently private messages are being removed from what it sounds like. If that's true, I'll look it up. I know I hardly use the private messages now, but yeah. That's interesting that they're if that's true, then yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, how's it going? Welcome to the case. There's Emil. Let me see. Now the reasons for why they're removing it, I'm curious. I would have to look that up later. See what's going on with that. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the archives real quick. Oh no, not the archives. What am I doing? Because I got the right... Oh no, my weapons. Right. Let me change some stuff. Yeah, private messaging will still go on until September 18th, so I know that won't happen. But anyway, yeah. If private messaging ends up going away, then there's not much we can do about that, because YouTube is making their changes, just like they're constantly have been changing their algorithm and everything. So if they're removing that feature, there's not much we can do about that. Let me see what's the. All right, let me see if I can get to the. There's the Type 40 blade. And there's this one. Ooh, electric. Alright, so I'm gonna go in here. See if I can fight, Wait, you talk to your grandmother through private messages on YouTube? you talk to your grandmother through YouTube. You don't talk to her on any other phone number or anything? Because I don't understand that. Anyway, not to get too distracted, I'm going to go ahead and focus on this one. And I'm going to go ahead and head down to go meet Emil and have a little fight once and for all. I'm not certain that's really how it... I don't understand how you're talking to your grandmother only on your YouTube private messaging. I thought you would talk to her outside of YouTube. You can talk to her outside of YouTube. She's on her back home, but I would think you'd have some other means to communicate with her at least. Because I don't understand how YouTube private messaging is the only way to get a hold of her. You don't have any other way to get a hold of her? So that's the only way you've been talking to her? Really? Now? That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think that makes any... that doesn't make any sense to me. I would think you would have some other way to communicate with her. That's why I'm asking if was that the only way you communicate with her. And that you had if you had her number or something. But anyway, yeah, without the private messaging, whoever you private message or anything, even if it's family, yeah, I know you won't be able to private message them on there. But then that would mean you just want to make sure to get their number so you can talk to them outside of YouTube if you're not able to get a hold of them on YouTube anymore. I'm still amazed how they make that change, you know. Alright, without any disturbances or anything, this is focused fighting. So, this is the moment where I'm going to be fighting Emil once again. And I know Emil, oh, no, I'm not just talking about social media, I'm also talking about phone number. Because that's family, right? So I was going to ask, do you have her phone number or any other way to communicate with her outside of social media? Because now that this message thing is going to be gone in September 18th, because you still have time to talk to her on there, but do you have any other way, like a phone number, to communicate with her? Because any family member you communicate with, there's got to have a phone number. I don't know how it is from, or anything from what's going on with your relationship with your family in terms of communication. But I would think you would be a way that you would have a phone number or something to get a hold of her. Because social media isn't the only way. So I would say for you, get her phone number, because I'm sure she has one. You can even ask her if you communicate with her on social media, hey, you know, this private message thing is gone. Can I get a phone number? That way you can get it. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so now it's time to face Emil once and for all.
泥棒さんはあなただったんですね。親しき中にも礼儀あり。お仕置きします。
how quick damage is. Woohoo! Oh, we got him.
僕の負けです。残酷な実力社会です。ここは自由に使ってください。
There we go. Now he said, I guess power is the only thing that matters here. That's pretty much what he said. So I just beat Emil, finally. Yeah, but anything, you know, thinking about what NieR had said earlier, yeah, it's another change that YouTube is making that I know people were used to. Although I know I've hardly been using the private message thing, but I understand maybe for many people they're not able to use it, or they use it a lot. The good news though is I will be, because I know I've been mostly using Twitter. I'm going to be using a few other social media, but one of them I definitely want to use is Discord. So I'm going to be, I already looked at some tutorials and some notes. I got to go back over those notes, and then I'm going to create a Discord server. I'm going to post the link in the description, promote it in my chat bot system, and then hopefully get people to come on by and be a part of my Discord. Yeah. Because even though I'm part of Twitter, I've noticed a pattern. I've actually learned to build relations on Twitter now. I've learned certain tips, strategies with Twitter. I've even got a recent follow from someone who's into game development, which is great. And so, and mainly I can tell it's probably because of how I've been communicating on Twitter lately. I changed the way I've been communicating on Twitter that has promoted my not only my channel, but has promoted my Twitter profile so much that even people now are becoming aware of who I am. And so I gained a follower, which is great. And then what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to, well, the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep being more interactive on Twitter and promote more of my channel, but be more lively and active with others, you know, because that's one. Oh, the Discord. Oh yeah, no problem. Yep, that's right. The Discord is something that I've been thinking about, because that's when a lot of people, especially people who do a lot of gaming streams and stuff, even some people who do art streams, I've been part of their Discord too. So it doesn't hurt for me to take a look, maybe, and see how, like, you know, how people have done their Discords, and then definitely implement mine. And then, like, be creative on how I want to be influential in my Discord. And by the way, if anyone is an artist or a beginner artist. Perhaps maybe you're learning to draw. Wink. I think I have an idea who's beginning artist here, but or you're learning to do some animation, art, or anything, or some form of creativity. You need some support. I'm your guy. I like to support people who love to do design and everything. People need it in these times, literally. And then also, as an artist, learning art myself, you know, even I'm starting to grasp some of the basics of art and design myself. There are principles, you know, and one of the principles I will share is, well, this one is, well, there are two things. One, well, first let me just say I'm glad I beat Emil. There's a second fight you have with Emil. Unfortunately, it won't work unless, like with Emil, it won't work unless with Emil, yeah, it won't work unless I get all the weapons to level 4 max, which will take a while. So, yeah, I won't be able to get that one yet. Yeah, this is a very powerful weapon. I mean, this is fully maxed out, I believe, yeah, because it's so electrified and everything. I was like, it started glowing blue and everything, and then, wow. And all the damage output that I just administered. And this helped it out, too, so I'm actually glad to have that all putting in the work. But, yeah, one of the things I realized about this game, and, well, yeah, so two principles is excellent. Well, this one is more not essentially a principle, but it's a characteristic. Excellence. And then, of course, you have one principle. But it's one that really stands out, or is the actually, this one, patience is definitely one of the key principles. And that is one you must be the one to develop. No one can develop that for you. And then of course there's the temperance, which is self-control. Sometimes we may want to rush things, we want to judge ourselves. I mean, I've heard the phrase before, we are our worst critics. You know, sometimes something may look good, but then we go back to it and we're already judging it and then throwing it out. But self-control just means you're holding yourself in, sometimes with a lot of your emotions, your thoughts, the things that could easily deter you in anything that you're involved in. And that requires self-identification. You have to identify yourself and know what moves you, what triggers you, what pushes you away at things, what demotivates you, etc. It's really about knowing yourself enough to control yourself. Which actually makes sense. So, then patience. You know, you hear patience is a virtue, and it is. It's one of the virtues to a persistent productivity. You want to be persistent in your productivity in life? Patience is one of them. That's one you gotta be the one to make. Because you have to build it, you have to develop it. Alright, so let me see here. So this is item I need. I need warped wire. Yay, he has the things I need. Okay. So there's dented socket. Oh yeah, I know you said that, but I already beat you, bro. I mean, I already beat him, so it's kind of like, you know, you don't need to repeat yourself. I accidentally pushed that button. Yep, so I can upgrade Emil heads. Nice. Do I have all the weapons though? That's the thing. Because there's a lot of weapons in the game. So let me see what percentage. So I'm literally at 87%. Wow. Oh, because I'm low on G. Okay, so I just gotta sell stuff. Okay, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so I can sell these, I guess, but I just want to find something worth selling. Ooh, but I only have one of them, okay. I got a lot of these. I don't need all these chips at the end of the day. Some of them I may not even use, so that's why I'm like, am I going to use these? Maybe, maybe so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for let me say before I do some more upgrades. So So now I got Emil heads as weapons. But Alright, I got a lot of moldivites. That's good, man. So level 3s here and there. Oh, I got something called Insanity. I'm curious how that takes place. So that means I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need Beast Hide for that one. Oh, that one's easy to get. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, some more Beast Hide. Oh, that's all I need for that. Okay. I just need Beast Hide. Alright, so then I can just go and... Well, today I know I've pretty much read most of the archive. There's still a lot more to read, but... I know I basically dug into a lot of Emil's backstory. Yeah, his is more of like a... It's very much a lot of what I could say with a lot of NieR is it's more like a sad disposition. Predisposes you to sadness. A lot of things that are taking place that, whether you expect it or not, that don't really work out well at all. But they do happen. Oh, he's still singing. Yeah, I don't think he has any beast hide, but I know he has several of these items here. So I don't really have to worry about any of this stuff. I have plenty of that, so it's all good. So I'm going to make sure to get more of this. There we go. Now, too bad he doesn't have pretty much large gear, so that's it like that. Oh boy. Okay.
いやー、最近物騒ですよね。この前もでも。
So I got the items I need and everything. I think it's just, there we go. Yeah, apparently you have to kill animals to get the beast hide, which makes sense. So here I just got moose meat. Let's see, did I get beast hide? Yes. Just need a couple more. I think I just need one or two more and that should be it. Yeah, I'll just make sure I'm getting the right amount. Alright, that should do it. Okay, so now let me see if I can upgrade some of those weapons. Can I? There we go. Okay, so then I just need more with this one. And this one just needs a meteorite shard. Okay. Let me just identify what I need. So I need meteorite shards. Yeah, meteorite shards. What else? Large gears. The beast hides are the easiest ones, but yeah, the meteorite shards and large gears. I would presume the big machines are the ones with the large gears, so I have to find them. So I mean, like larger enemies probably would be the ones that produce large gears. But yeah, meteorite shards, that one is interesting. I'm not sure where I would get that. Okay, so from them I get a strip. Got no other item right now. Yeah, because only certain enemies get you a strip. Certain enemies will get you the item that you need. Straight across the back. I was trying to get him a back scratcher, but I guess that was it. Let me see any other archives. Yeah, the Project Gestalt archives are the ones I have to figure out. Oh yeah, there are these ones here. Okay, let me read some of these. Filthy lottery to better luck next time. Park, tattered pamphlet. Park information, Carnival Plaza. Pass through the gates and step into a world of fantasy before enjoying a fabulous parade put on by our Carnival cast. Parades are held twice a day at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Midnight Town. How many of the ghosts that stalk these back streets can you track down? Roller coaster. Soar through the air at over 130 kilometers an hour in this widely popular attraction. Grand Ferris wheel, perfect for those looking to wind down after a day of hard play. Rumor has it that if you see fireworks while riding the Ferris wheel with someone you like, the two of you will begin dating. Hollywood Coaster. This dynamic thrill ride takes guests on a wild trip around a spectacular fantasy castle. It's the first roller coaster ever created with no seatbelts. Fantasy Castle. Oh, no seatbelts. Forget the safety regulations on that one. Sheesh. Treat yourself to a grand ball attended by princesses from across the entire amusement park. Admission extra. Food court. Tempt your taste buds with a host of restaurants that feature something for the whole family. And remember, no trip is complete without a visit to our world-famous hot dog museum, which boasts the largest collection of wieners anywhere in the world. Hot dog museum? Too bad that's destroyed already. Rotten info sheet. About Schwanstein Castle, a stunningly beautiful place of architecture. Schwanstein Castle was constructed almost 550 years ago by the reigning lord of the Fife, now designated a World Heritage Site. It hosts countless tours from all across the globe every year. Though it was initially used as a fortress during the Lord's conflict against the church, Schwanstein Castle became a dwelling for the royal family and other nobles after the flames of war faded. Notice churches in the quotes there, but the literature-loving third lord of the castle, Leonard III, constructed a library that boasts the largest collection of books in the nation. This room remains one of the castle's most beloved features to this very day. Too bad the castle is pretty much nearly in ruins. Sheesh. Bulletin. Yeah, the castle. The castle in there. Oh my gosh. Resident Life May issue. So this is the issue in May. The rainy season is upon us. Once monsoon season strikes, it will be difficult to hang your bedding. So take this chance to air them out before June. Doing so will also help prevent mold and mites. There has been a recent increase in the number of people ignoring garbage disposal rules. We all share these facilities, so please be sure to put out compost on Mondays and all other trash on Thursdays. Oh man. I don't know if that was in the factory. No, it wasn't a factory. It was in one of the towns or somewhere. I'm trying to remember where I found it. One of the chests somewhere. Traffic violation notice. License custody certificate number May A4321. Date and time of notification July 21st p.m. 2013. Affiliation, rank, and name of notifier Hama Police Station Police Constable Kenichi Sato. Issued to Yosuke Saito. Violation details: exceeding the speed limit by 30 kilometers to 35 kilometers. Speed limit violation. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if Saito and Sato are some names of people as an Easter egg of those in the development and production team. That would be cool though. I wouldn't be shocked if I looked it up and I found out. Or familiar, or some famous people in Japan somewhere. But anyway, Tokyo department store going out of business sale. After 25 glorious years of serving our loyal customers, it is with a heavy heart that we announced our last day of business will be on March 31st. Beginning on March 1st, we'll be slashing prices on everything in the entire store. Whoa! Additionally, we'll be opening our doors 1 hour earlier throughout the entire month. We eagerly await your visit and thank you again for your years of patronage. Bring this flyer with you to receive a free pack of tissues. Oh, wow. It is with a heavy heart that we announce our last day of business will be on March 31st. Store gonna beginning on March 1st, we'll be slashing prices on everything in the entire store. Additionally, we'll be opening our doors. You know, this reminds me of like, I know the Toys R Us incident. Now there's no Toys R Us. That's sad. Yeah, major stores going out of business, but especially with bankruptcy and everything. But another thing too is what else is happening? I remember not only like businesses, but I remember even with games, there used to be this app game that apparently went on for years. Unfortunately, what happened with the app? Well, let's just say I came in the latent stage, like the much later stage, like of playing this game. I came later, and only had it for several months, and then eventually they made an announcement saying they were gonna remove the game. So something happened where they decided, sorry, we're not gonna have this game around anymore. That's pretty much what happened. They pretty much ended the game, and you can tell that they were ending it because how, like in this scenario here, real life things, man, real life things. In this scenario, I love talking about stories. EXP story, man, experience stories. They ended up doing a free in-game selling process where, because you have to grind a lot to get some supposed currency in the game, to also get like some items and box stuff you need to upgrade your characters and everything. It's more of like you're fighting against zombies type game, but you can play as either on the side of humans or on the side of the zombies. And there are special zombies as much as there are special humans with each characteristics and traits and abilities. Unfortunately, as the game was kind of getting close to its ending of it all, like they were going to cut it off. They allowed it where people can literally literally get a lot of the upgrades or a lot of the items they need for upgrades for free. Yeah, I ended up experiencing that, and so my characters could easily get to the max. But it's sad though that stuff like that happens. They ended up things can happen that can lead to a store going out of business. Many things could happen. It's like going back to the era of Blockbuster. There are still some video selling stores around. But, Blockbuster was around for a long time. And also Hollywood Video. There even used to be a store in my area that was Hollywood Video, but is now a beauty salon store. Yeah, nice for beauty for women products and everything. They ended up going out of business. Or ended up leaving. It's like, because Netflix, it was Netflix and GameFly that started coming in, giving people the opportunity to rent things for free. Well, you still had to do the whole sign up thing and everything. I think there's still a little payment, but yeah, you would get DVDs, you would get GameFly, you would be able to get games and hold them as long as you want until you return them. You don't have to worry about a late fee. I did find out in one of my business, when I was taking an intro to business course, that apparently you had to apparently they talked about the story of how Netflix came, or GameFly. I think it was Netflix. I think it was yeah, it was Netflix. The person who made Netflix came up with the idea after having to contend with the whole late fee system of video stores. Like they didn't like it, and so I don't know if there was an error there was trouble. They just didn't like it, for some reason. Maybe they couldn't handle the late fee thing. I don't know, but that would have been their responsibility to do that. So I don't see that's a really good reason. But they, if it's from the book, I would have to look at the backstory. But if it be true from that book, they literally came up with the idea of Netflix and everything later, where they now wanted people to be able to rent and able to borrow movies without having to worry about late fees. So yeah, you can borrow them as long as you want. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people were investing in that so much that, places like Blockbuster and Hollywood Video would just not continue. So it's just something to share. It's like you can relate to the things here, But it's called Old World. It's like pretty much the idea of Old World. Context wise, it's just what was the world like when humans were around, pretty much, and like before it became the desolate environment that it is in this game. So yeah, that's the idea of the Old World. Yeah, mysterious lithograph. This is number 4. Thou shalt not live on level ground. This rule has its origins in a tragic past. We masked people originally inhabited the plains along the coast, but one day our village was destroyed by a great wall of water. This rule is a valuable teaching that represents what our ancestors learned from that disaster. Level ground. The ground in which there would be where water could possibly cover it if a situation of disaster like that were to happen. Interesting. That's a rule. And then these are the Project Gestalt reports. Yeah, I can go in a long talk about these, but I don't have the rest. But a lot of what Project Gestalt reveals goes back to the first Drakengard game, ending E in the first Drakengard game. Is where NieR takes place from, where NieR is derived from, and then NieR Automata after NieR. So this is where they talk about the white chlorination syndrome. It says the proliferation of the white chlorination syndrome that emerged in 2003, alongside the appearance of the giant and dragon, has continued unabated, and outbreaks are now being observed on a global scale. Despite being researched in laboratories across the world, not only have there been no breakthroughs in the development of a vaccine to prevent infection, we have yet to ascertain how it even spreads. However, many technological breakthroughs have been made as a result of research conducted on the mesoparticle that was discovered at that same time. We are confident that technology enables the separation of the soul from the body, and the independent preservation of both will be the final defense against the unprecedented threat to humanity we now face. Now that the project has passed from preparation to the main implementation phase, we have given it the official name, Project Gestalt. So basically transfer the mind and body of human beings into some other body, so so they can preserve all of what's left of humanity in the earth. Because they could not find a vaccine. They didn't know, they could not find a cure. And the giant and dragon is ending E, if you want to check it out for yourself. Yeah, that's the ending E of Drakengard. And then summary: protests in opposition to the spiritual preservation method that was disclosed as level 1 information related to Project Gestalt has sprung up in all areas. So there are people who opposed the methods that they were trying to implement. The committee continues to receive formal complaints from our research team regarding the collection of biased data as a result of the Gestalt process being conducted on the sick and elderly. And that's who they're using it on the most. The number of civilians having undergone the Gestalt process remains at 4. So it's just 4 people right now. A public relations department will be established in order to better control information and improve our image. We will also consider rescheduling the project itself if such an action is deemed necessary. So they only have 4 civilians right now that's undergoing the Gestalt process. And it's mostly being conducted on the sick and elderly. Okay. Yeah, those who have the syndrome and the older people. Elders. We received a report from the laboratory indicating that the basic technology of the replicant system is expected to be completed by the end of August. Verifications of its safety, along with clinical trials, will be conducted from September through November. A report will be submitted to the Prime Minister indicating that the completion of the replicant system will represent a tremendous leap forward for Project Gestalt. This report will be handled by the Public Relations Department. So in other words, you have Project Gestalt as the main project of it all, and the replicant system is, or Project Replicant is what's going to be the end result, so to speak, you know what I mean? So, a report has been submitted to the Prime Minister regarding the rampaging weapons incident that occurred at the National Arms Laboratory in June. Though the laboratory's budget and allocated human resources are expected to see significant cuts, the team of staffers will continue MESO research until under the umbrella of Project Gestalt. Records of human experimentation conducted using MESO are scheduled to be disclosed to consider parties separately as Level 6 classified information. Yeah, they talk about the MESO. I think they talked about here about the on the MESO part that was discovered at the same time. Not enables the separation. So, made as a result of the research conducted. So they've been using this MESO particle along with certain technologies to make that separation happen. Okay, just to make sure things were clear, especially for me. Here we go. This is where it gets more into NieR territory. The Grimoire Noir is one of the. It's a book. It's in the shape of a book, literally, and it talks and it floats in the air. And in the beginning of the game, NieR, the main character, a guy, has the Grimoire Noir. And he's looking after his little girl named Nyona. That is his daughter. But then something happens. You just got to see it. But for yourself anyway. Through the use of MESO technology related to multi-dimensional worlds, 13 activation systems have been completed, including Grimoire Noir. We have also confirmed that these systems can be used to return Gestalts to their replicant forms once the white chlorination syndrome has been fully eliminated. Work necessary for this system will be continued by the Grimoire Noir Project Work Group. So through the use of MESO technology related to multi-dimensional worlds, 13 activation systems have been completed, including Grimoire Noir. We have also confirmed that these systems can be used to return Gestalts to their replicant forms once the white chlorination syndrome has been fully eliminated. Work necessary for this system will be continued by the Grimoire Noir Project Work Group. Today's committee meeting was canceled due to the absence of a majority of members. The contact network for urgent absences is to be confirmed at a later date. See, relapse the original Gestalt units in preservation are now relapsing. Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit more on just all. I have to, once I get more of the documents, I'll probably look at it later. And you have data saved on the server and of the Yorha and everything. You know, it's just a lot of those things, so forth. Yeah, and then it's revealed that the Council of Humanity was developed by none other than the Yorha, so they're the ones who created it. And then this reveals about Project Yorha, which reveals that the Yorha were actually models, experimental squadrons that were soon going to be dead or completely removed in the end. So they were pretty much expendable scapegoats. Alright, well, it's 8:46, so I'm not going to be on for too long. So I think I'm going to cut it off here. I know I would have to do a long search for, like, because I would have to search for the items just to get the maximum weapons. Just to maximize all the weapons. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play off stream to get these items and everything, and make sure I get all the weapons and make sure I get them all maxed out, because then that will lead to me getting the final fight with Emil. Well, you don't fight Emil, you actually get to fight his clones. Yeah, there's something that does happen that leads to that, but it leads to a very sad scenario, literally. So, but you'll get to see it once I do that. I say this Friday morning. So I don't think I have anything going on this Friday morning. Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming again, and this time I'm gonna be streaming a different game. And I'm thinking of streaming Final Fantasy 15 or Detroit Become Human. One of those two games. If you like this game, you'll definitely like Final Fantasy 15 Episode Arden, because one thing I can say unique about this story, that story, and this is that, one, they both deal with some things that take place in the past, and both remember the past, but one is for vengeance, and that's Arden, who's the main villain of Final Fantasy 15. So you get to learn more about Arden and why he became the villain that he is in Final Fantasy 15. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be really a shocker. It's going to be really amazing. Like, wow. But I'm going to do it real early in the morning this Friday. I think that's the plan for me. So I'm glad to tend to this. Okay, so that's pretty much all of my stream for today. Yesterday's stream actually worked out really well because of the discussion I had, and then with here, it still went out okay. I still managed to take an opportunity to talk to people a lot, but I'm eventually going to move this to a more blatant discussion. It's going to be there will be opportunities where there'll be more serious discussions about things, about topics within games and so forth. Mostly it will be fun gameplay, but there will be fun discussions along the way where it's not too distracting, but still makes the gameplay more fun and more explorative. You know what I mean? Plus you get to explore perspectives and stuff. So anyway, whoever's here in the stream, thank you all for joining the stream. I love and appreciate you all. God bless you all for stopping by. And this is the EXP StoryGamerZ. The next game I'll be doing this Friday, early morning. I'm not too sure. What I will try to create is I'll create a announcement thing but I'll leave the link for the actual stream when it does show, or for my channel, so that way people know to get to direct to my channel to see the video when it goes live. So thank y'all so much. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful day or wonderful night depending on your time zone. Take care, y'all, and bye-bye.